Hey, I'm here with Brandon from Training from the Ground Up. Today, I want to get you to help set up a plan for somebody who's never done any type of resistance training. You know, just something that they can incorporate. What do you think? 2 times a week to start?
Yeah, 2 to 3 is kind of the ideal. A lot of people think, oh, I'll start with once a week, but the reality is, 1, it's not enough to really make a change, and 2, you'll spend the rest of the week sore. If you want to reduce soreness, you actually want to increase your frequency. And it's unreasonable to ask someone to start with 5 days a week. 3 days a week seems to be the most efficient use of your time. It reduces the soreness the most, and it seems to be the most effective. And it doesn't even have to be a full hour. It can be, 30, 45 minutes. As long as you start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and just make a 1% improvement each week, like you're winning the game, that's it.
And when I say resistance training, what does that mean to you, or how would you explain that to somebody who's never done it before?
I would say it means it would mean increasing strength. And the way that we would do that is start with a resistance that you are accustomed to establish a baseline. And each week you just increase that resistance a little bit, or the number of times you lift it, or the number of sets. But there are many ways to improve on it. The main thing is you are looking for measurable improvement, not just I feel better, though that is something that we track. It's something you can see on the paper as you're writing it down, like, oh, I did this many with this much. That number should be going up. Some of these numbers should be increasing, pretty much ad infinitum, in some way or form.
And so resistance training, typically, and especially in an aging individual, needs to be part of just lifestyle somehow.
Absolutely.
So many benefits just from in terms of bone health, muscle health. One of the most common causes of morbidity and mortality is a fall after 65. And it's not the fall and the fall can kill you, but typically it's the rehab after the fall. If you break your hip, after that's 50% of the people, 50% of the people die within a year of breaking a hip. And of those 50% that recover, don't recover back to what they were previously. So resistance training helps prevent that fall from the beginning, because you may just be a little off balance and catch yourself compared to falling all the way down. 2, if you do fall, you may just bounce instead of actually breaking something. 3, you can get yourself off the ground to get help with that additional strength. Another thing I want to, as a person is aging and everything, is for them to think about what they want to do in the next 10 years. If you're 65, at 75, do you want to be able to pick up a grandkid and hold them? Do you want to be able to pick up a 20-pound case and walk half a mile through an airport to get on a plane?
Yeah, put it in the overhead bin.
Yep, put it in the overhead bin. Look at your life in 10 years, and what do you want to be able to do, and what do we need to do to be able to sustain that? And a lot of times that's just going to be getting some resistance training in, maintaining the muscle mass you have currently so we don't lose any more muscle mass as you age. As you get older, muscle mass is just precious. Any amount of lean muscle, we need to work what we can do to keep it. I think hormones for both men and women are just crucial in both getting you the energy to do that, help you feel good, your bone health specifically, and then we add the resistance training, if you're not doing it, to keep that, if not get better along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
today is going to be focused on somebody who does not or has never had resistance training, how to start, but just kind of from the ground up,
Hey, I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah. I like people to get a trainer at the beginning just so that they can have somebody look at how they're doing things, make critiques. So if we're just starting, there's no bad habits to start from the beginning. And 2, it helps establish a plan. Sometimes it's overwhelming just to think about what you need to do, how to do it. Are you doing it right? How do we prevent injury? But then also just having somebody look at you. Even the last time you've made critiques on me and I've lifted 1,000 times alone,
Yeah.
And I do better just because I have somebody actually looking at me and able to say where the flaws are and help build upon to 1, get me better, 2, prevent injury, and 3, just to be more consistent.
Make it more effective. More trade-off like a better ratio of effort to benefit. You know, if I'm putting in all this effort, I want it to work. Well, then I should put in the best effort. And that doesn't necessarily mean working the hardest, it means working the bestest, right? And so I often say that how you're doing it is more important than what you're doing. You know, I'm not as worried about which exercise you're picking, though I am. I'm a lot more concerned with how you're executing that exercise and how are you tracking and measuring improvement. If it's something that, you know, like if you're doing a row and it's like you're kind of getting halfway up, like how do we know you improved the next week when you went up in weight but you cut your range of motion down? Like, let's establish baselines, let's establish norms. Also think of this as movement practice. The better you move, the less likely you are to fall, you know, and the better you move, the more you're gonna get out of it, and the better you're gonna feel, and the longer you're gonna live. So like the benefit, like how you do it is gonna be more important than what you're doing to some degree. And sometimes it's not necessarily about finding a flaw in the form, but about like, hey, let's tweak this and make it just a little bit more better, right? You know, it was good. Let's make it even more effective. Let's get even more trade-off, more bang for our buck.
My mom will be the demo today.
Cool. Let's do it. I'll show you how to run through that. Mason, if you want to jump in, you're more than welcome to it.
Yeah, I'll do it on the side.
Cool. There you go. So go ahead and take a seat. We'll just go bottom to top. Starting with your calves. Just get on one of these nodules here and all the way up to your knee, back down to your ankle.
What are you foam rolling for?
Huh?
What are you foam rolling for?
It just makes the workout go better. You'll feel better. So like,
is this just loosening up muscles?
it kind of loosens stuff up. It gets you kind of warm as you're going. But generally, yeah, the way I look at it is like, if you have a knot in a rubber band and you stretch it, you tighten the knot even if you get more length. This is what we use to untie the knots. And that's kind of a gross oversimplification, but that's the way I tend to describe it. Switch. Mm-hmm. It also just feels good. And a lot of people come in, they're like, I don't feel like working out today because I don't feel, you know, my muscles feel tight, or I feel achy, or a joint's hurting. This kind of opens the window and make them feel better. And whether it makes a physiological change or not is not really relevant to me, because if you feel better, your workout's gonna go better. So I do this because it makes you feel better. Come up to your hamstring. There is one other thing that like we've pontificated about, where we think, you know, when you put a sponge under a faucet and you just let it sit there, or you dip it underwater and you just let it sit there, and it kind of absorbs some of the water, but it really absorbs it when you squeeze and release. It's kind of like that. This will hydrate the muscle in the same way, or at least we think it might. We don't have any concrete evidence to prove that, but we have suspicions based on observation. Go ahead and switch. On the hamstrings, I like to get on this edge.
The hamstrings you like to do what?
This part right here. Before the workout, we'll do 10, 20 seconds on each spot. If you got a hot spot that's like really sore, we'll wriggle into it for a little bit longer. But otherwise, just 5 passes or so. Yep, so you're gonna sit on top of it. I want you to put your right butt cheek in the right lowest groove. So sit on the right side and then lean to the right.
The right side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then lean on your right hand, put your right leg on top, and roll that glute. There it is, yeah. I will find a lot of times people don't need stretching nearly as much as they need this. You'll stretch, you'll get range of motion, but it was really, it's hard to describe. You do this, you get the same increase in range of motion without the need for a stretch. I see that all the time.
So where can I get this whole rolly things? Or I've seen just flat ones.
Yeah, the Rolgas you can get on the Rolga website or just on Amazon. I think Perform Better sells them too, but you can get these from Amazon.
I like this.
Yeah, these are great.
Yeah, this digs well.
I do not have a tush at all. No, there's no padding, there's nothing. So that's like one of my goals too, is I need to be able to strengthen that so that it can help with my hips and all the others.
That'll get real strong real fast.
Okay, good.
Come to your lower back. Your spine will rest right between those two. Give yourself a hug. Then we'll go up to your upper back. Put your elbows together.
Ooh, it's cracking.
Yeah, that's the good part. And this is one of those things too, like especially with people over, I would really say over 35, but you know, people in the 50s, 60s, 70s, like they get aches and pains, you wake up, you're not feeling great, you foam roll, suddenly you feel better. Go ahead and come to your side. Put your armpit right there in the front one. We're gonna go palm up, and we're just gonna roll back and forth and hit the back of the shoulder. And then we'll switch sides. So you can see where it's hitting on the back of mine. Get in that groove there, and then just roll back and forth a bit. If you find a spot back there, you can pin it down by sitting on it, and then I like to rotate here. Give it the old pin and stretch. Next, we'll go to your quads. So kind of play with your leg position on this to see where it hits the most. But I like to start on those outer edges and let them dig in. Then I'll come to the inside and turn the toes in and out and play with it. All the way up to the belt, all the way down to the knees. If you had some aches and pains, I'd have more things to tell you here, but since you don't, and you're kind of a unicorn in that way, this is just gonna be bonus feel good. Okay, from here I'm gonna turn a little bit and get the outside of the leg so.
Well, I like that.
I think you're the first person to say that. Most people are like, I never wanna do that again.
Feel like I'm tenderizing.
Yes. And then same thing, other side, other leg. Okay, from here we'll go the adductors. So you're gonna lie face down, put it next to you vertically, throw your knee on top of that ridge, and then roll all the way up and back down to your knee. Yep. And switch. Same thing, other leg. We'll do a few stretches here. Let me grab you a pad for your knee for this one. You don't really need a pad. I just have mine so I can show you how to use it. But put your knee up against the wall or close to it. And the closer, the better. Then we'll bring your other leg forward. And if you already feel a stretch, stay there. If you don't, you can come up.
Yeah, that's stretching.
Really good. I like to add to this, I'm gonna push, turn, reach up and over. So you're trying to give me a high five.
High five, that is stretching.
Gets it.
Wow.
Take a couple of breaths in through the nose. Blow all the way out like you're blowing out a candle. And then we switch. All right, so again, I'm gonna turn to the right, reach up, lean left, a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Hey, Alex. That's the physical therapist. I like your bag. It's very psychedelic. All right, we're gonna come up on all fours. Spread the knees as wide as we can. Come to the elbows and then use your hip flexors to pull yourself back into a stretch and forward and just rock a few times. This is essentially practicing the squat. It's also just a good stretch. Then we're gonna come forward, bring the right leg out, as far away from you as you can get it. And I like the foot flat, toes forward. If you want a bigger stretch, take this knee and scoot it back.
Okay, yeah, I'm good right here.
From here, lift your tail, stick your chest out, turn to your right and rock back. Feel like a wishbone, right? That's it, that's it. And then we switch, left leg out. And again, if you want to make that stretch deeper, we're going to take the right knee and go out and then scoot it back. Then stick your chest out, stick your butt out, rock back.
Oh my God. You're killing me.
Elongating.
Oh, elongating. Okay, yes, sir.
All right. Come here to your knees. Bring your foot up next to your hand. Take that back foot, go back with it, drive your zipper to the floor. And I like to grab onto my foot to keep it flat and try to kiss your big toe.
Oh my gosh. I'm not even kissing my knee.
Okay, then we're gonna sit back and with your left hand, grab the outside of your foot, then straighten your knee and pull back. Think about like sitting back with your hips rather than pulling with your arm. And we'll switch.
Okay, I'm doing it.
You're doing great. You're moving great. Try to touch your zipper to the floor, kiss your big toe. And again, we'll sit back, grab the outside of your foot, straighten your knee out as you sit back even further. Okay, then we can come back into this position and just go to the side and lay that leg down. And you'll be in our next one. Grab your ankle. If you can, bring your foot forward. Yeah, there you go. Try to get your zipper to the floor again. Chest way up and out and forward. Feel a good hip stretch there?
Yeah.
That's money. How you feeling there, Mason?
You
Getting a
do
good
this
stretch here.
every time you come in, like this is the beginning part of it. Every time I'm
Foam roll, stretch, little power work or nervous system activation, however you want to call it. Then we do strength training and then we do conditioning. So there's kind of a recipe that we follow. From here, we're going to turn toward the back leg and push your knees down while trying to get your right cheek to the floor. So you should feel that kind of in here on this back leg. And then we switch. So we're back in this kind of pigeon-esque position. You've got it. Grab onto that ankle, makes it go a little bit better at first. There you go. Chest up and forward. turn toward the back leg and push your knees down. Just turn to your left as far as you can and drive your knees down into the floor, both knees. Yep. Good. I'm gonna pop you into a side plank on your knees right here. Push your hips up and forward and kind of clinch up. Good. Push your hips forward real hard. Real hard, real hard. Clinch up real hard like you ate too much Taco Bell. Don't want to let that escape. There you go. Gonna roll to a front plank real quick. So elbows are right here. I want to clinch. I'm on the knees first, and then we're gonna come up, and then we're gonna pull. Try and pull your elbows and your feet together. A little bit higher, higher. There you go. Then we switch sides. So now we're on the knees again. Gonna push your hips up and forward. You're gonna be on your other side. You already did that one, right?
I did that.
Oh, okay, cool. We're just gonna hold that for a minute. And we're on our feet. I'm gonna give you a dowel. We're gonna fight to the death.
Yes. Can I fight him?
You can. I'm gonna stand way back here. So go as wide as you need to make this comfortable. Keep your elbows locked, pull the dowel apart, and just get a stretch, and then come back. Get a stretch, and come back. And eventually it'll just kind of let you go the rest of the way. What we don't wanna do is like bend the elbows. Just keep pulling on the dowel and opening up, and don't force it. Get like 10. Kind of open your chest and shoulders up. And as that gets easier, over time, you can scoot your hands in further. It just, when you do it every day, multiple times a day, eventually it's just like, yeah. Turns out this stuff works.
You're going all the way back too.
My hands are a little further out than his. He's definitely got better mobility.
All right, go ahead and hold on to yours actually, because I'm gonna want you to use it for balance. So you'll go here.
And
I'm gonna have you stand
mode.
on the opposite foot.
And stay defensive with it.
All right, so lift your right foot for me.
Okay, lift to my
Stand
right.
on your left, yeah. From there, I want you to get as long as you can.
Stand on my right.
Other way. Sorry, lift your right. That'll work. There you go. And then come back up. Get 5 of those. If you're feeling like your balance is pretty good, you can drop it and just reach. Nice. Oh, dude. Stellar. Good balance. Then we'll switch sides.
Me yet.
Oh, that's excellent.
Okay, now.
Then we'll get 5 on the other leg. Beautiful. Good, from there we're gonna stand wide, reach forward, and just sit as far as you can without your heel coming up. So keep your foot flat, sit down as deep as you can, stand back up 5 times on each side. Yep. Dude, your mom's an excellent mover. You're ahead of the game.
Oh, no, that.
Were you very athletic in high school and college?
No.
No?
No.
You're just lucky, huh?
No.
Just one of those lucky people.
Like 2 times back, 2 times. Just in the last 5 years. Like I've walked a lot,
Wow.
but it's all been vertical. You know, I'm not doing any really other things besides walking.
Well, you move very well.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
I got grandbabies to chase,
This bodes
so.
well. All right, so I'm gonna start you on one knee. The more in line, the better. Hands behind your head, go straight up and down 5 times. I would say your mom might not be the best example because she is not an accurate representation of most people in their 50s and 60s.
Of the starting.
Yeah, starting. What I'm doing here, it's a warm up. It's also me screening to see how she moves. and she's doing better than most people in their 50s and 60s would normally do. So I would make modifications at that point. But this is impressive. All right, from there, you're gonna pry your knees open, keep your feet flat, and pull yourself all the way down.
I got this one.
We're just gonna hang out. See if you can pull deeper, and just kind of relax. And then reach a few times on each side.
Ooh.
Yep, get a little stretch there. Okay, from there, I wanna reach, get upright, do a little stanky leg.
Oh, I can't do that.
Good. Feet flat. And stand. Good. Get a couple of just squats all the way down like you're picking up a dime with your cheeks. Pick it up, stand up. Yeah, excellent. Beautiful. Let's put the dowels up, get you throwing some things. Jumping around a bit.
It is.
You do. So I'm gonna put you here. Back from the wall. You're gonna be on your knees and tall. I want you to squeeze the ball like this. Put it through the wall 10 times. Good? That's the ball I want you to use too.
This is gonna be my downfall. I have no upper body strength.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. None.
Get 10 for me.
Okay.
You got it. See, clearly you have some upper body strength because the ball is moving.
Well,
I think your downfall is you don't give yourself enough credit.
oh, okay, good.
Once you got 10, I'm not counting, you are. This is on you.
That's 10.
Cool, then you're over here. Pick a box you're comfortable with. If none is the answer, that's okay, I have an alternative. But I just want you to land soft and tall. Step down, don't jump down. We're gonna do 5.
All right. Jump.
If you can, if you're up to it. Dude. All right, on the next one, I want you to go soft and quiet.
Okay.
3 more. Good.
Cheated.
You're good. Good. All right, now this again.
Now what?
That again.
Okay.
Put a hole in the wall, you win. If you break the ball, I'll give you $20. And then I'll bill you for the ball. I used to keep like $20 bills taped up on the wall to encourage people to try and break them. And they would, but the trick is I would retire them right before they busted.
Right. Before it hit the
Like that blue one is off limits. No one throws that. That used to be an 8-pound ball. Now it's like 5. Because all the padding keeps
Okay,
coming
I
out.
need just a second.
Take your time. We're not in a rush. So you need to rest.
Okay. I just need to catch my breath.
You're good. Once you've caught your breath, you're gonna jump around for me again.
Okay.
But
That's what I thought.
while you're catching your breath, I want you to go up, stabilize, step down. So don't jump down.
Am I jumping down?
Yeah, you got excited.
Okay. Okay. Jump up, step down.
Nice. Awesome. Last one. And you're warm. Shall we go work out?
We got it.
Let's do it to it. All right. So I will give you a little bit of a circuit, upper body, lower body, core, and we'll just kind of do 2 rounds of it. Good? I'm gonna have you start with a pair of dumbbells that you are comfortable with. You're gonna pick them, not me. You're gonna come sit on the edge of a bench. Okay. I'm gonna sit here and look pretty, but you're gonna practice first. So I want you to practice, set them on your knees. Note that I'm sitting on the very edge of the bench. I want you to practice rocking up and down a few times so that you get comfortable getting in and out of this position.
Okay.
Once you've got that, we're gonna put the feet flat on the floor, squeeze the shoulders back, get a big stretch at the bottom of this, and come back up. Get a big stretch and come back up. And then when you're done, it's this again. Good?
I don't even know if I can do 10.
Oh, you'll be fine. I've got you. Yeah, you can do 10s. You played with grandkids?
Yeah.
You have a purse? It weighs more than 10 pounds. I'm right behind you. Yep. And then try getting back up. Yeah, good. Do a few of those for me. Kind of get comfortable with that action. Very nice. One more. Good. Now we're gonna bench. So go ahead and roll back. Feet flat on the floor, dumbbells up. I'm gonna turn you. Chest up as high as you can get it. I want you to come down until you feel a good stretch. All the way down. Right, there you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, 10s are a good warm up for you. Pause at the bottom for me. Stretch more, more, more. And then come up. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
That's it right there. There you go. Very nice. Good. I'm just gonna ask for like 5 more.
How many is that?
One more.
Okay.
All right, hold that. Let's do that little action where you're getting up again. Feet up and rock. Wonderful. Rack those weights for me.
Do what?
Go ahead and put them back on the rack for me. Okay, so next I'm gonna give you a target. It's gonna be the edge of the barbell. You're gonna point your left foot at it. You're gonna stand on your left foot, and with your right hand, you're gonna touch it. And as you're touching it, what you're really thinking is drive the heel of this foot into that wall, right? So you're gonna reach and touch, stretch, come back up. We're gonna try to do 8 in a row where you don't put your foot back down.
Okay.
So we're just kind of practicing. Cool?
Okay.
Let's do it. So point your left foot at it, touch with the right hand. Very nice. Dude, she's like a natural. So if someone were struggling with this, I'd give them the dowel like we started to in the warm up.
Okay.
If someone was struggling with the bench press, we might just do an incline.
Okay.
If someone's struggling with the split squats in the warm up, we skip that, we change it when we get here. But so far, you're kind of a superhero.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Thank you.
And that's,
I'll own that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna bump you too.
you
Yeah.
absolutely should.
Okay.
Right foot,
Right foot and then the
left hand, you got it. Yeah, I am the expert in superheroes,
Good.
so.
Good. Okay, I've already put my legs here.
You're good.
I'm starting
It
over.
counts.
That didn't count.
It counts.
That was a practice.
Oh, it counts. It counts. They're all practice. There's another case in point here coming in. What's up, Cake? Indeed. Dude.
Great. All right.
All right, so you're a natural.
Okay,
You're really good at this
thank
stuff.
you for the boost of confidence.
Oh, dude, you're the awesome one. Let's do this again. You wanna grab some heavier ones?
No.
I won't judge you this time. Good. And this one, I don't need you to practice that. You've got it down, so you can just go ahead and start.
Okay.
All right, let's go feet flat.
Feet.
And I'd like you to press into the floor for me, like really drive your heels down.
Okay.
Okay, big stretch at the bottom. Pause for a second, come back up. Wow, nice. That was even better. Do like 4 more. last one. Good, hold them, feet up. Rock on up there. Well done. Dude, you're killing it. How are we feeling so far?
Worn out, honestly, but I'm good. I'm warming
I'm
up,
told
for
that's
sure.
part of the point.
Yeah.
You must be working out or something.
I'm working out, yeah, so I'm warming up. Got it.
So I'm gonna put you back on this one again. 8 more. They all count, even if you put your foot down. Beautiful. Usually someone doesn't move this well in their 50s and 60s unless they were like a gymnast or something when they were younger, or they already like, oh, we did powerlifting. Oh, I was a gymnast. Oh, I was whatever, you know, but man, very, very fortunate here. Good genes.
Yeah.
Compliment you on your genes.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, I know you worked hard on that.
Pick my parents.
Good. Excellent. You ready for a little bit more?
Yeah.
A little bit more?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna give you. You're gonna take a big step back, and then knees to, or elbows to knees. Spread, chest out, and lean forward on the bench. Okay? Don't do this. Do this. Right? From there, it's just gonna be all the way down to the floor and up to the ribs. All the way down to the floor and up to the ribs. What we don't want to see is the Magilla Gorilla or the curl. Think athletic stance, right? So all the way down, up to the ribs. Let's do 8 and 8. Good?
Could be, yeah.
Go ahead and shift your weight forward onto your hands some. And then, yeah,
I would just call it.
do it to it. Beautiful.
More they even.
Really try and make it touch like the ribs and the hip at the same time. That's it. Very nice. 2 more. Killer. Now the other side. This is a little too easy for you. We might get a bigger weight on the next one.
No.
Beautiful. Awesome. That was easy, huh?
No, none of it's easy.
So as part of your workout, I'm gonna ask you to rack the weight, which means put it back on.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I just.
So I'm gonna put you here. Feet are shoulder width. You can turn the toes out just slightly. I want you to think spread the floor and sit all the way down, butt to ankles. You're gonna almost relax here for a second and then stand back up. So sit all the way down, stand back up. I'm just gonna ask for 8 of them.
Sounds like a lot. Okay.
Awesome. Excellent. As you're down here, I want you to think big and tall thoughts. Good. And then stand back up, staying big and tall the whole time. It makes it squattier. So we're strengthening up the quads and knees quite a bit more. Later on, when we load this, it's a bit easier on the back and harder on the legs.
They don't have this specific rubber thing. What are
Oh,
alternatives?
books, plates, small children, you know, whatever you want to put your heels up on. The cat, you know. The main thing is, even like the best squatters in the world, like Olympic weightlifters, they have a beautiful squat. They wear a shoe with heel elevation. You know, it's a weightlifting shoe. If you elevate the heel, it makes the squat squattier. If we keep them flat, you're gonna get a kind of a hingier squat for a lot of people. She's very, very strong too. So
I do have a bunion though.
Oh, that's pretty common too. Does that hurt?
Not that, but yeah, I have trouble. I should have told you I had trouble with that. That's the only thing
Quite a few people do, and it's generally because they're wearing the wrong shoes.
for 45 years.
Yeah, it's the whole idea. If you squeeze your foot into this tiny little coffin and it's constantly
And you
compressing.
raise that heel up.
Yeah, I mean, for squatting, I want to raise the heel, spread the toes.
Right.
For walking around, I want something really, really minimal with a wide toe box so that your toes can naturally do what they're supposed to do, which is kind of spread out.
Oh, you got even your little.
I got my toe socks on, yeah.
Bring your toes even further apart. Yeah. I like it.
You ready to do another dumbbell row?
Sure.
Let's do it. I'll let you pick the weight. As long as it's not under 12.
The one or the two?
This one here. Rhonda, get all the way down for me. You might grab something like that and elevate your heels and then hang out here, so elbows to knees will help you get down there. Bring your feet in for me a little bit. A little more. There you go. And then spread the knees. That's it. Feel how that's a bit more stable?
Different.
Yeah. Good. Think chest out and shoulder down. Nice. There you go, Rhonda, much better. That makes me happy, and really, that's why we're here. Yes. If you happen to get a workout and get a little healthier along the way, that's a great bonus, but you know, don't forget why we're here. Killer. Rack the weight and let's squat again. Actually, let's hang on to that weight. I'm gonna give you something just a touch harder this time around. So take your time, take your time. While you're catching your breath, I'm gonna show you what I want different. Same setup, except here we're gonna hold this like a goblet. Push your chest into it the whole time. All the way down, all the way up. After you've caught your breath. If somebody's having knee pain, back pain, anything like that, there are a lot of modifications to make here. The first modification is always, one, check to make sure the knees aren't doing something wonky. Like they should track along the toes. They shouldn't necessarily be doing this. But if they're having those issues, we might start with a band around the knees. We might just unload it. We might even make it like an assisted squat where they're hanging on to something and getting some help. Or we might even just do a progressive range of motion where we start up higher and work our way down lower over the course of however long it takes. Some people, hard truth, some people will never get back all the way down. Most people can. There are just a few outliers who, because of various surgical history, they won't. You know, they've got hardware in their knee that only goes so far. That said, the knee replacements that I've had in here continue to gain range of motion year after year. I don't know that we'll ever see butt to ankles, but we're definitely seeing more than 130 degrees.
Nice.
So,
Good.
and that's under load too. In their, let's see, one guy's in his 40s, the other guy's in his late 60s.
Nice.
And then I've got a few others that are in their 60s as well, and theirs have gotten better. But the strongest ones in here are actually in their late 60s.
Nice. Awesome.
It's pretty crazy.
So when they are just kind of starting, how do they know how fast to go and when to start their next rep? You know, because it's going to be tired and sore from day one.
I would say, so if you're waiting on your next set, catch your breath, make sure your heart's not like just racing we have a lot of people wear heart rate monitors, so you can actually see on the screen, you can see what Jimmy's heart is doing right now. He's in this green zone. I usually tell people like, hey, recover to green or blue. It's like color coded. So like you'll have blue, green, yellow, and red. And if they're like up in the yellow or red, I'll tell them, hey, get back down to green or blue. But generally you can just feel it. Like, are you dizzy? Definitely stop. Are you just winded? Like, catch your breath, make sure things feel kind of fresh again, and then go. If that takes you 5 minutes, we probably have some other issues to line up. But generally it'll be 1 to 3-ish minutes for most people. And that's also why we do the upper lower thing. So you're doing an upper body exercise and a lower body exercise. While your legs are recovering, you can work your back. While your back is recovering, you can work your legs and vice versa. And we try to generally do non-competing. So I'll do something like an upper body push, like you did the bench press, and then you did a lower body pull, what I would call it a single leg deadlift. Because later we'll be loading that. So like the glutes aren't really in a ton, like you're using them, but not a ton in the bench press. And you're not really using your chest a ton in the deadlift. Like it's there, but it's minimal. So we'd use like non-competing exercises. So your muscles have recovered for sure. The rest is just gonna be like, are you gassed? You know, your conditioning. And so doing conditioning and zone 2 cardio and stuff will help that shrink that window of time down as well, so that rest period gets shorter and shorter without you gassing out.
What do you mean by zone 2 cardio?
Zone 2 cardio, I just tell people to aim for 68% of their max heart rate, but it's a range of, if they don't know their max heart rate, you can do the talk test, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna find, and you can't just, most people can't just get it walking. It has to be a little bit more intense. There are a couple of signals. You should be able to kind of hold a conversation, but it should sound like you're doing something, but you can hold a conversation. It's just kind of hard. Yeah, you kind of have to work. It sounds like that, right? It'll be in that zone where like, I really want to work harder or stop or work easier. Like it's that really uncomfortable, like purgatory of effort where it's not hard enough and it's not easy enough. It's just uncomfortable. I tell people get, 4 to 6 30-minute sessions a week, like 2 to 3 hours per week, try to accumulate that. You can do that playing pickleball. We have several people who I watch their heart rates, they wear their heart rate monitors while they're on the court, and they'll bring it, they don't have to bring it back, I can see it in the app, but they'll bring it and show me, this was my heart rate. And it's like, okay, you got your zone 2. And some people, it's like, okay, you need to play a little less hard. Some people, you need to up your game. But you can do that, oftentimes just doing something that you enjoy. Otherwise, I love a good incline walk on the treadmill, 30 minutes on the bike, but that will have one of the biggest impacts on your longevity. It'll also help, again, like I said, shrink down those rest periods between sets. So it will feed into your lifting. It doesn't steal your gains, it actually helps improve them. So it also, the reason that we started doing this is like this moves the needle in terms of lowering resting heart rate. A lot of people, they think cardio, I need to work harder. But what happens is you get the wrong type of hypertrophy in the heart. So you actually shrink the chamber down and start pumping less blood. So I've got a couple people in here who you can see their history because their heart rate is very, very fast all the time. And their max heart rate is it may be high, but they get there very easily. And their resting heart rate is very fast. Even though they're very fit, they never did a low enough intensity cardio. We want it to be high enough that it's working, but low enough that the heart is able to completely refill the chamber each pump. And that seems to be what gives us the right kind of hypertrophy. They talk about I don't need to go into detail, but they talk about hypertrophy of the external left ventricular wall. And so this increases the size of the chamber, so you pump more blood per pump.
That makes sense.
In my thinking, it just makes you better. It's also the most powerful antidepressant. There were some interesting studies that showed cardio and strength training was one of the most potent antidepressants we have, by far more effective than medicine. Not that I'm against the medicine. If you need a pill, take the damn pill. But the most effective was cardio by itself. Just zone 2 cardio was the most potent antidepressant, period, out of everything.
Doing the hard thing.
Doing the hard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing it even though you don't want to do it.
Yeah, there's an
Has
interesting,
benefits to it. Yeah.
there's an interesting, I highly recommend the book Rewire. I'm trying to remember the name. She's a neuroscientist, but she talks about pushing into discomfort is what allows for pleasure. So if this is your zone of discomfort, pleasure, and this is the entire spectrum, the harder you push into this side of discomfort, the more it expands the side of pleasure. There's an equal and opposite reaction. Everything is physics, right? There's an equal and opposite reaction. So the more you push into discomfort, the more capacity for pleasure that you have. The more you push into pleasure, the less capacity you have. The more you run from discomfort, the less capacity for enjoyment you have. So as we push this way, the zone just shrinks. You'll see it. People who are constantly running from discomfort are the most depressed, are the most anxious, are the most unhappy. And the people who push into the discomfort zone, the people who work out, the people who do the hard thing, you'll see that capacity expand, you know? So it's an interesting, kind of counterintuitive concept, but I've seen it play out time and time again. You know, the number of people who have told me in private that this kind of saved their life because it pulled them out of the funk, out of the depression, out of the like really dark thoughts. Not that this is like any substitute for therapy, like get therapy, you know.
Part of it.
It's part of the holistic plan, you know. Take the pill, see the therapist, lift the weights, eat the vegetables, you know, sleep. But anyway, that's my ADHD rant on.
Yeah, and I just want to be able to run after grandbabies and do things with them for a long time, not just
Absolutely.
for the next 5 years. I want to keep doing that for the next 20 years.
Well, and on that note, you know, a lot of people are scared, like you mentioned, being kind of worried about like, I don't want to hurt myself with the weights, and that's a really common fear.
Right.
And if you're already chasing 40-pound grandbabies,
Yeah.
odds are the 5-pound dumbbells aren't going to hurt you. And odds are you need more than that to get stronger. Should you start there? Probably not. You need to start with a weight that you can practice with. And then, okay, I've established my baseline. Every week, I'm gonna do something that's 1% more.
Okay.
Your rep range really, if you wanna stay safe over 50, I would say is 8 to 30. Like if you're getting 25 reps of something, you definitely need more weight. And I'm not saying, hey, stop at 15. I'm saying find a good weight you can't do 16 with.
Okay.
And when I say can't do, I mean like it wouldn't, when your form shifts, you're done. Even if you can do 2 more reps, but they're ugly, you can't do 2 more reps. So when you can no longer do more good reps with that weight, that's the end of that set. So I'm really easy on rep ranges for a lot of things. Yes, there are exercises that lend themselves well to lower reps and some that lend themselves well to higher reps. But you can really simplify it and just say, hey, it's 5 to 30, or it's 8 to 20, you know, and just live there. Like work your way up that spectrum, add a little weight and do it again, add a little weight, do it again, and
So
just,
it looks ugly.
and I would stop before it looks ugly. Yeah, I would say never do a bad rep. You know, you're learning, once you've learned it, there should always be pretty. So no bad reps, because then you're not even training the muscles you're trying to. Right? And then you're training sometimes ligaments, and that tends to not go so well. So yeah, pretty reps only. Think of it more like skill. You're practicing. You're just gonna practice with a little bit more weight this week than you did last week. Or you're gonna practice with, I did, you know, 2 sets of, I did 12, and then my second set was 11. I'm gonna shoot for 13 and 12. Or I'm gonna shoot for 12 and 12. You know, something is going up. And the oldest people that I've had in here, the oldest person I had in here was 96 and continued to get stronger up until about, I would say 95. Started in his late 80s. He started at 88 and he continued to see strength improvements until about 95. He's still alive, by the way. He just turned 100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So I think there's a lot out there of like, oh, you lose strength as you age. And it's like, yeah, if you don't train it. Oh, you lose power as you age. Yeah, if you don't train it. You lose mobility as you age. Yeah, if you don't use it. You know, it's really more use it or lose it. But if you're working and you're trying and you're pushing and you're doing the uncomfortable thing, you're doing the hard thing, and you're supporting it with plenty of sleep, good nutrition, eating like an adult is really the easy way to say that, because most people know what that looks like.
And sleep has been an issue lately. And I've noticed if I work out, I'm gonna sleep better. And so
It does absolutely help your sleep. And sleep is, of all of the above, sleep is the most important thing. More important than nutrition, more important than working out. Though nutrition and working out support sleep, and sleep supports nutrition and working out. And all of these support the life that you want to have.
yeah. All right, I want this lap right now.
You want this. Let's do it.
Okay.
Now she's excited.
Yeah.
Give me the bigger weights.
Do I hold it like this?
Yeah,
Okay, and then just come up.
up and down. What I want you to think, tall and proud.
Tall and proud.
Good. Put your eyes right there. On that awesome logo. Yeah,
I
he's
get
flexing.
that.
Flex those pecs while we do it. Make him jump. Do the pec dance.
I did not teach him that.
I think that's a thing all men just learn. We have to. Nice, no bounce. I want a little pause.
I saw that.
There you go. Training this way through a full range of motion with a lot of control in the rep, no bouncing, a good pause in the stretch. This will ensure that your muscles are working in the most beneficial way. We're taxing the muscles, not the joints. You won't be able to use as much weight. It is harder, it is more uncomfortable. It will also grow the most muscle. You can rest.
Okay.
It'll grow the most muscle. It'll keep your joints safe and happy. And again, because you're using a full range of motion, you're gonna keep a full range of motion.
Doesn't make me lightheaded.
That tends to happen a lot with squats. If that happens, I say like take a break, you know, don't push through that, rest, come back. You'll acclimate to that over time. Some people also, they have like POTS and don't know it. So they'll stand up and kind of get dizzy. And over time, you can just acclimate to it. But again, just start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and each week try to progress it up. Hey, I got dizzy on rep 6 with this weight. All right, I'm gonna reduce the weight maybe until I can get 10. But I'm just gonna keep practicing until I can get 10. Maybe I need to focus on my breathing. Maybe I need to actually breathe and not hold my breath for 5 reps in a row. Depends, everyone's a little bit different. But I would say push into discomfort, don't push into sick or dizzy or pain. Like no pain, no gain. When we say that, we're not saying your joints should hurt. We're saying that your muscles should burn. You know, it really shouldn't be pain, it should be discomfort. So let's rack the weight, put your shoes on. We're gonna do some conditioning.
Goodness.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And we do conditioning at the end because if you do it at the beginning, your strength training will just suffer.
Lose form,
Yeah.
output.
Yeah, your nervous system is toast. You've already burned through the carbs that you were gonna use to lift, you know. This is more like, let's empty the tank. Like we got a little bit of conditioning just by going upper body, lower body. Although I am the one who would say like, your strength training should be strength, your cardio should be cardio, and nary the two shall meet. You will still get a little bit of bonus cardio out of doing this style of training. And in some research, it suggests that you might actually see better gains because you're able to get more reps. You've got a little bit more nervous system, just neural drive, we'd say. Like you're more awake, you're pushing harder just because you're kind of got that pace. Whereas you do a set, you sit down for 5 minutes and you waste some time on Instagram, your next set's gonna suffer. So you're leaving productive reps on the table. So this style of training, you're getting some conditioning out of just the lift, you know, and you're having more fun. You're also squeezing 6 hours of work into 3. Like, it's a time saver. So let's get you on the bike and do some conditioning. Give it a couple pedals. What I like to see, the leg is mostly straight at the bottom. Good? Okay. So again, this is where the dizzy and sick rule really comes into play. I want you to be mindful of that. If you feel it, stop. Otherwise, give it some. So we're gonna do 10 seconds of go and 20 seconds of stop. And when I say go, you're gonna watch this number up here. Try to keep it in the 60s. So just go fast. You ready? Go. If you can. And you're gonna rest in 1 second and then stop. Now you get 20 seconds of rest. We're gonna do 8 rounds of this. I know it says 10 here. I'm gonna stop you at 8. So it's only 4 minutes of work. But this tends to give you a lot of the benefits of that zone 2 training, even though we're not doing zone 2. Go ahead and hit it. You'll get a lot of benefits out of this in a lot less time. And efficiency is the name of the game. You're a busy CEO, you're a busy stay-at-home mom. You don't have time to spend, 6 hours a week in the gym. What can we do in 2 or 3 hours a week? In the research, this is the most efficient use of your time. Plus, it's fun. For me, anyway. Fun to watch. Good rest. How we doing?
Good.
It's not so bad, right?
You're right.
You don't have to murder yourself. In fact, sometimes those workouts where you feel like, yeah, I'm dead, like those were not your productive workouts. The ones where you walk out feeling better than you walked in, those are productive. It's really easy to make someone tired, but you have to be really specific if you want to make someone better. So don't go into the gym looking to make yourself tired and sore. Go in looking to make yourself better. Good. I'm just going to check your heart rate real quick.
All right. I'm feeling a little dizzy too.
Go ahead and stop. Hey, we'll call it there. You're good. How you feeling? A little dizzy? Yeah, you're done.
Okay.
So don't push through that. Grab a protein shake, get some water, lie down for a minute, call it a day. Done.
This was your first kind of resistance training circuit regimen. What did you think? How was your experience?
It was a little harder than I thought it was going to be. I really thought I was going to just kill it, but I did do better than I thought I was going to do once I got started and realized it was going to be harder. So I feel very empowered by that because I feel good that I was able to do what you wanted me to do, and it does motivate me. It makes me want to do it and keep doing it and build that muscle. I just think it's going to be worth it. And all that I went through today, it's going to be worth it.
One of my favorite questions, do you feel better than when you walked in?
I feel, my body's,
You're done.
I'm done, but I do feel, mentally, I feel so much better. Mentally, I just feel like I could go conquer the world now.
How about your joints?
My joints feel pretty good. My legs, surprisingly, that's the weakest thing on me right now, which I would think that would be that's like my strongest muscle, I feel. So it's surprising that I guess I was just working different parts of it that I don't really, like I told you, everything I've done so far is vertical.
Yeah.
So to do any of this stuff it's waking up all my muscles and everything's going, wait a minute, I hadn't played with you in a long time. So it's been really good.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That's that whole how you do it thing. We were talking about how, oftentimes it's more important how you're doing something than it is what you're doing. Because you want to think here's the effect that I want. Okay, here's the stimulus that produces that response. What's the best tool for that stimulus, and what is the type of execution I need and the best tool to use that accommodates that type of execution? So if we're trying to grow muscle, increase blood flow, increase your flexibility and mobility, basically make you live longer, we're gonna squat differently than someone who wants to do powerlifting or someone who wants to do Olympic weightlifting. We're gonna do things a little bit differently than those individuals.
So we'd like to thank Brandon and Training from the Ground Up for
amazing.
walking
No,
us
you
through this, giving us this time and space and his expertise, and so appreciate you having us out.
Oh, thank you.
How can people contact you or get a hold of you if they want to be part of your program?
tfgu.net is our website. You can reach out to us and email us through there. You can also just go straight to our email, which is tfgucoach@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. I think it's @Training from the Ground Up on Instagram, and then you should be able to find us pretty easily on Facebook as well. But tfgu.net is the go-to. So
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time.
thank you. You did awesome. Super proud for you.
Yeah, it was really great.